Hi guys, welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita, Khemka.
And I'm Yatin, Mota.
Well, Yatin, we started the week on a solid note, but after the solid run yesterday, we've seen a bout of profit booking kicking in today, and in fact, the Nifty gained 400 points yesterday. In fact, today it has shaved off 200 points at one go, right? Half of it. And Sensex also down 800 points. If you look at the mid-cap end of the markets, around midday, I think the mid-cap index was holding on, Yatin, but towards the end of the session, even that index succumbed to selling pressure, and the NSE advanced decline ratio, was at one point firmly in favor of gainers, but towards the end of the session, it stands at 1:1. So not breadth wasn't that bad, but it is evenly balanced now. Although at the start of the day, it was tilted in favor of gainers. If you look at the pockets that didn't do well, FMCG continues to be a drag. Pharma, IT, some of the defensives were among the laggards today. But what held out was the PSU Bank Index, the Realty Index also, holding out in a weak market. Among the Nifty gainers, BPCL extends its winning streak, and you have the others like Tata Motors, Grasim, Aisha Motors, SBI, HUL. These were some of the gainers. On the flip side, Bajaj Finance, Yatin, after the numbers, the stock has plummeted 5%. In fact, both the Bajaj twins, Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, were under pressure today. Titan, Ultratech, Cement, RIL, after yesterday's 7% up move, some bit of profit taking coming in here. So 2.5% kind of a downtick for Reliance Industries. NTPC and ITC post numbers also, Yatin, among the top losers. But let's talk about some of the movers in the mid-cap end of the markets. I think the infra pack is active ahead of budget. Yatin, IRB Infra continues to gain.
Absolutely, and if you look at IRB Infrastructure record levels for that stock, 13% is where the stock moved. Market cap also today crossed 40,000 crores. So good move coming in for IRB Infrastructure. So did BML. That stock also was up 11%, and the market capitalization close to 15,000 crores. So good move coming in for BML as well. Indiable Housing Finance, and remember the company has announced a rights issue, and ahead of the X date wherein the company will be giving 1 share of rights on every 2 shares held. That stock moved 8% higher in trade. What did not do well post numbers is Coromandel International. It fell nearly 8% after a week set of earnings. Manyavar, Trend, Team Lease, Borosil Renewable, all of these stocks witnessing some profit taking. So almost 5-6% down for all of these stocks. But clearly today, the stock which hit fresh 52-week high include Tata Investments, Apar Industries post numbers moved 5%, HPCL, BPCL, Oil India, ONGC. All of these oil and gas companies moved to record levels. So good move coming in for all of these stocks. In the power sector, we had CSC, BHEL, all of these stocks doing well. Manappuram, MGL, LIC, all of these stocks also doing well in trade. In fact, Nandita, LIC neared that IPO price of 949 rupees per share. So LIC has also seen a good recovery from the recent lows.
Right, Yatin, with that, let's start with the stocks that are on our radar this afternoon. Yatin, let's go with your first stock today.
So, Nandita, the first stock on my list is BPCL. And, given the fact that the numbers were better than expectations, the devil was in the detail. The company had some inventory gains according to analysts, and the Mozambique block, the street was expecting a resolution very shortly, but probably that is 2 quarters away. Probably post the conference call, we had some profit taking which came in for the stock. But JP Morgan continues to remain bullish on the stock with a target of 600 rupees. They believe that the refining margins for the quarter have been better than expectations. The marketing business has some small inventory losses. But if you look at the, exploration and production business, wherein Mozambique is expected to contribute significantly to the production moving ahead, a lot of new oil and gas wells are also expected to ramp up production. So that will probably benefit BPCL. When it comes to the current freight situation, they continue to get Russian crude at a discounted rate and on a freight plus basis. So, no big impact seen on that front as well. So overall, a healthy set of numbers for BPCL, and the brokerages continue to remain bullish. In fact, the BPCL is one oil marketing company wherein brokerages do believe that the valuations are still attractive versus a IOC or HPCL.
Right, that was about BPCL. Of course, it has been on a winning spree, right? But, another stock, that is in focus post earnings is Bajaj Finance, and here as well the devil is in the details, as you said, Yatin. Given the fact that profit has jumped 20%, yes, NII has been strong as well, AUM growth has been strong, but what hasn't really found favor with the street is the fact that provisions have seen a sharp jump. Even asset quality, so to say, has deteriorated slightly, right? If you look at the provisions, up 48% YOY, Yatin, and even if you look at the QOQ picture, 16% up. But aside of that, most of the brokerages have maintained buy calls despite the disappointment. They have trimmed EPS estimates, but no downgrades coming in so far. If you look at HSBC, it has a buy rating target price of 8,900 still, and it says that lower fee income and higher credit costs have contributed to this disappointment. And they have cut EPS estimates by 3 to 5% for FY24 to FY26 to factor in lower loan growth as well as lower fee income. On the other hand, you have Nomura that has a target price of 8,800. Stress remains in unsecured segments. That's what Nomura has to say, and credit costs have increased despite a decline in the provision coverage ratio. So that's also been seen as a negative. But Nomura has also said that despite slight hiccups, the performance is well within the guided range. So Nomura net remains positive on the stock. Jefferies as well, it's the slippage in personal loans that has led to asset quality disappointment. That's what Jefferies is saying. And Jefferies is saying that the company may submit revised standards to RBI, given the fact that two of its products, have been banned from, further loan disbursements, right? So that is one thing that the Jefferies has pointed out. But aside of that, if you look at what JM Financial has to say, it says that despite the higher credit costs, Bajaj Finance is a stock that remains the best play on diversified consumption opportunity, Yatin. And it says that it has a strong risk mechanism and high growth and superior return ratios, which is why JM Financial is also pretty much, positive on this particular stock. So no sell call. In fact, if you look at the analysts, if 36 of them track the stock, only 4 of them have sell call on the stock.
Yeah, but I think, the asset quality clearly this quarter has disappointed the street, because of which there was a sell-off of nearly 4% in trade. But shifting gaze from finance to FMCG, and ITC is one stock which clearly had some bit of disappointment with the quarterly numbers. Now, Jefferies has a buy call. However, most of the brokerages have cut the EPS estimates and targets. Jefferies has a new target price of 520 on ITC. Now, if you look at the consolidation of the business, in the cigarette business, we didn't see any volume growth. The management also hinted that there will be a consolidation in cigarette volume growth. And cigarette is one of the bread and butter businesses of ITC, wherein we get robust amount of cash flows, and in the absence of growth, probably that cash flow assumption goes for a toss. Apart from that, the rural slowdown has clearly impacted the FMCG business also. However, it was slightly better than the street expectations, but companies like Dabur, HUL, all of them are complaining about the weakness in the rural markets, and the rural recovery has been in particularly quite slow. If you look at the cigarette EBIT growth, it was the slowest in several quarters. FMCG remained in high digit growth in terms of the overall performance, and the agri and paperboard division was slightly weak as expected. However, hotel business continues to do well, and the demerger also, which is proposed by ITC, that is also well on track. But yes, in the short to medium term, probably the core cigarette business will have some bit of headwinds according to the management commentary.
Right, Yatin, and I think all eyes will be on the budget as well, whether any kind of taxation is imposed or not. So I think that's one reason also that ITC is on tenterhooks. But good point to note that HUL managed to end the day in the green, although just about 0.5% gain coming in. But on a day when FMCG pack itself is in the red and the top sectoral laggard, HUL has managed to hold on. But with that, I think we've come to the end of this edition of Closing Bell. Some important numbers to watch out for: L&T and Dr. Reddy's post market hours today. We'll of course do an analysis tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. So don't forget to tune in to Morning Trade. But for now, it's a goodbye from me and Yatin. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your other news and updates.